Hi and welcome to Fabricville. Today we're going to use a wedding dress pattern that we're going to shorten to make a party dress. I want to make a Gatsby style party dress, so I choose this silver sequins fabric. To do it, I need the Vogue V1032 pattern, some pins, scissors, a marking pen, a measuring tape, a 40 cm invisible zipper, satin fabric, sequins fabric, some lining, and assorted thread. I'm going to decide the dress length that I want and shorten the pattern. And now I'm going to cut all the pieces in satin fabric. And I transfer the pattern markings. I cut the bodice pieces in lining fabric and the caps and the skirt panel in sequins fabric. I need to remove the sequins from the seam allowances. This takes some time, but it's worth it. For the cap, I lay the sequins fabric on the satin piece and I stitch around to work as one layer. I pin, then stitch the darts. And I press. Now I lay the front and back bodice right sides facing and I stitch at the shoulders, then press the seam open. I'm going to snip the V on the front piece on 1 cm to be able to pin the cup piece. And I stitch it. I trim the seam allowance and I press. I'm going to assemble the lining pieces the same way, and in addition I stitch the waist pieces. And I press the seam allowance of the bottom of these pieces turned to the inside. I lay the bodice in fabric on the lining bodice right sides facing and I'm going to stitch the armhole, the center back and the neckline. I trim. Then I turn to the right side. I'm going to turn the seam allowance to the lining and top stitch on the lining 2 mm from the seam line. This keeps the lining in place. I do this as much as I can where the fabric and the lining are stitched together. Now I'm going to assemble the lateral sides of the bodice, so I pin them together, matching the seams of the fabric and lining. And I press the seam open, and I also press the edges of the bodice. And to finish it, I stitch together the two parts of the bodice at the center front up 2 cm. To make the skirt, first I've serged the edges of the satin panels. Then I lay the sequins fabric panels, and I stitch them together close to the edge. Then I stitch the 3 front panels together and the back except the center back. Next, I pin the waist pieces to the top edge of the skirt at the front and the back. Then I stitch. Now I stitch the invisible zipper. If you need help to do this, go and watch our invisible zipper tutorial. I lay the back skirt on the front and I pin the lateral sides and I stitch. Now I pin the bottom of the bodice to the top of the skirt, matching the seams. And I stitch. The dress is almost finished. Now I slip stitch by hand the lining to the waistline and I stitch a hook and eye at the top center back. Finally, I decided to cut the bottom of the skirt to make an asymmetrical dress, and I finish it by adding 2 layers of fringe. And the dress is finished. Enjoy your sewing and thanks for watching.